Blog Talk Radio.
Oh, it's time to get real. Oh, yeah. It's the new experience. Reality Spirituality. Yeah, keep your ears open for this one now. Reality Spirituality. You got a question for RLN? Reality Spirituality. Yeah, it's time to get some answers, baby. Reality Spirituality. Oh, now we get real.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Reality Spirituality. I'm your host, Rebecca Lynn Norrington, and thank you so much for being a part of this show. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your emails. Thank you for all of your support. This show is growing and growing and growing, and it's not because of me. Well, maybe a little bit. It's because of you and because that you have shared what this show is about. You know, Reality Spirituality, why did I come up with this concept? I was searching for a feeling all my life. I wanted to feel good. I just wanted to feel good. And what did that even mean? A feeling of internal, I just wanted to be satisfied. I wanted to be satisfied with my life. I wanted to be satisfied with what's going on. I wanted to be satisfied with everything. And when I say satisfied, I mean a feeling of deep, deep, deep satisfaction. And I found for the majority of my life, I was dissatisfied. It didn't matter what happened. I had the most beautiful wedding. I have a wonderful child. I've traveled. You name it. Well, I haven't done everything, but I was looking for this feeling. I was looking for this satisfaction outside of myself. And decades ago, I went on this search to be happy, went on this search to find what I was looking for. And at first, I thought, I've said it before, I thought I didn't know my purpose. Why am I here? What are my gifts? Why am I here? Maybe that's going to satisfy me. Come to find out that even though I was using the gifts that I have, I mean, we're all gifted in some capacity. We're all unique, and we all have our individual gifts. And I was using mine mostly daily. But was I satisfied? Hell no. And see, that's the key. This satisfaction, this feeling of contentment, this feeling of knowing, this feeling of relaxing, this feeling of surrendering, all happens inside. All of it. And I had do you hear that squeak? I don't know if you heard that, but that's the chair that I'm sitting in. I'm actually in a different studio today, and this chair is squeaking. But where was I? Oh, and this feeling, what I finally discovered, what the universe finally revealed to me, is that all of the work, all of the action, all of the conflict, all of the relationships, all of everything that happens to me starts and ends inside. I can point my finger at 100 different people that I think because they said something to me, now I'm upset. Because they said something, now I'm irritated. Because they said, no. I can stand here today with my left hand up in the air, knowing for a fact everything that I feel starts from within. And that is a huge revelation for me, because that means I have the power. I have the power to choose my feelings. I have the power to choose my emotions. I have the power to set my personal vibration. I mean, isn't that a revelation that we all can journey through this life? We all can get through this life feeling good about everything, in every circumstance, in every moment, regardless of what happens. Oh, my God, what a week I had. From the outside, it always happens when the new moon, I don't know what's going on with the new moon, not the new moon, the full moon in me. And it's like all of my senses are up. You know, my hair's standing on end. The full moon is out, and woo-wee, just watch what happens. Yeah, the universe, it's odd. I can't explain it. But I know around the full moon there's a lot of things that I really, really have to be conscious. I really, really have to be aware. It's kind of like, if you're a man, sorry about this. It's kind of like when you're on your period and you know that time is coming, and then you feel a different shift in your emotions. It's the same thing with me with the full moon. I don't know, maybe you've experienced the same thing. But this week and a little bit of last week was the full moon. And so, yes, stuff was flying out at me. And let me get specific, because I love specifics. I don't like speaking in general terms. My new book, my latest book, my only book that I wrote by myself is coming out April 1st in a couple of weeks. And so there's a lot of deadlines to adhere to, formatting deadlines, book cover design deadlines, printing deadlines. I mean, it's just a lot. And a couple of weeks ago when I was going through the same thing, I was really on edge, just bothered by it all, bothered by the smallest email. Listen, I'm a bottom line kind of girl. You ask me a question, it's going to be yes or no. I mean, I'm really to the point. I don't do a lot of fluff, a lot of stories, a lot of extra stuff in my emails. I'm just like, one sentence, two sentences, I'm done. I'm out of there. But the universe paired me up with, and I'm not exaggerating here, 4 different women that were not bottom line kind of women. No bottom line there. It was sentence after run-on sentence and then I had to do a Sherlock Holmes to try to find the point of the email. Now that was last week, and last week that bothered the hell out of me. Last week, I kept thinking, why can't they get to the point? I ask them a specific question. I don't need a whole history of how books are made, a whole history of how books are formatted, from the beginning of time. I don't need that. I don't want that. But that's what I got. That's what the universe gave me. And at the time, it wasn't funny. I mean, I can laugh about it now, but at the time, it really wasn't. And so what happens to me is whatever I resist, whatever I don't like, whatever I'm irritated with, whatever I'm annoyed, guess what I'm going to get more of? And why? I'm going to get more because these wonderful women that I worked with, and all of them are stellar in their field. All of them are professional. All of them do great work. Wait until you see this book. Great work from the formatting to the book cover design to the editing to the printing. I mean, it's perfection. This is my point. The universe wants me, this is what I believe, the universe wants me to feel good no matter what situation, no matter how many times people are repeating, no matter how long the sentences go, no matter how long the emails are, I'm supposed to look at all of it, accept it, and feel good with it, and feel good about it. I'm not supposed to let these long run-on sentences affect my vibration. Well, I know that. I realize that. But last week it was difficult to implement it. And why? The bottom line is this. When I want someone to be different, when I want them to express themselves in a short, in a brief way, I'm really not accepting who they are and how they express themselves. It comes back to me. It comes back on me. I'm the one not accepting. Because, quite frankly, there are people in this world, I don't get it, but there are people in this world that love long sentences, love detail, love the minutia, love to read and read and read and read and have a story going on when all you need to say is yes or no. They really like that. They like all of the explanations. So why do I think that my way is the best way? My way is the only way. And when I change it up and I open my arms and I start accepting everybody for who they are and how they express themselves in every situation, then I can really start breathing. I can let my shoulders down. I can become calm. I can relax. I can start really loving and accepting. And this is where it all switches around. Because, and I don't want to tell everybody this, so, listen but don't tell anyone. Everything about myself, where I am okay with everything about me, when I am able to love, accept all of it, all of me, without any judgments, without any criticalness, without any, maybe you could change this, Rebecca, then it will be easy to accept others. What does that mean? That means I still have things to do? Yes, means. That means I still have acceptance. I still have more. I still can accept myself even more than I have. It all starts with us. We are the ones with all the power. If something is going on out there, that means something is going on inside. Now, that's a good thing. It's even better than a good thing. This life, this is how I look at this life. Constant. I'm always in class. I'm always in this universal university. And I go from class to class to class to class. And subject matter, acceptance, subject matter, which we're going to get to our topic, which is attachments. Attachments, expectations, subject matter, complaining, subject matter, let's see, what's another one? Subject matter, surrendering, whatever the subject matter is. Subject matter, letting the universe drive. Subject matter, giving up. Subject matter of forgiveness. Whatever it is, whatever the class is, I'm just going from class to class to class to class to class. And that is my life. That's my life. That's my life now. I'm always in class. And the reason why I'm always in class, and there's no summer vacations, there are no holidays, there's no time off, there are no weekends. I mean, it's constant. It's constant. At least that's what it is for me. And I'm laughing because sometimes I say it would be nice to take a break from class. It would be nice to have a spring break. It would be nice to have a summer vacation. But that's not what I signed up for. That's not what I committed to. I want to feel good regardless of what happens and regardless of what doesn't happen. And because I want that, and I've committed to that more than anything else, then I've got to stay in class. And I can change my perspective. I can change my perspective that this is fun. I mean, I always have something to do. Believe me, I'm never bored. Never, ever. Even when I'm at home by myself, never bored. Because there's always a thought about, there's always a thought about, I don't want to use the word improvement, but there's always a thought about what's the next. I can't wait until I get to a level where I can get an email. I can get an email with long sentences, and I can sit there and just smile and think, remember when that used to bother me? Remember when that used to annoy me? So there's always something to do. Speaking of which, our topic today, and I want to encourage all of you to call in. Feel free to call in with your questions, your challenges, your issues. The chat room is closed for this reason because I'm in a different studio and I'm not able to open up the chat room. But the number here to call in is area code 646-564-9619. Again, 646-564-9619. We have a few people in the queue, but nobody wants to talk. But that's okay. Believe me. That's not gonna take my personal vibration up or down. Let me say this. Whenever I've asked somebody if they wanted to be happy, I always get the same answer. I can't remember a time when I said, do you want to be happy to someone, and there was a no. Every time I ask someone if they want to be happy, I always get a yes. The majority of people will always say they want to be happy. But their daily choices and daily practices, they really don't, and their daily behaviors, they don't coincide with someone who wants to be happy. This is the conflict. There are behaviors, there are words, there are actions, there are perspectives that actually subtract from happiness. And that's what this topic is about today. Attachments. So what does that mean, attachment? That means that I want something to turn out in a certain way. I have an attachment to an outcome. I have an attachment to a circumstance. I have an attachment. I have I want something to want something to evolve the way I want it to evolve, if that makes sense. Let me give you an example. I talked about this conference. I'm going to be speaking live at the Live an Extraordinary Life Conference in San Francisco, Saturday, April the 5th, and Sunday, April the 6th. Saturday, I will be speaking on the importance of forgiveness. Sunday, I will have a 2-hour workshop, that's right, on the purpose of this life, the purpose of life, your perspective, 360 ways to be happy, the meaning of life. It's going to be chock full of information. It's going to be an interactive workshop too. It's going to be so much fun. And then I'm also speaking after that, the same day on Sunday. The title of the speech is The Blame Game. Oh, that's another thing that subtracts from happiness, is blaming anybody else or the circumstances for my happiness or my vibration. What the hell was my point? Oh, attachments. Do I have an attachment to how this whole weekend is going to unfold? Honestly, do I even have an idea of how many people I expect or want to come to my speech? Because there's going to be a lot of speakers there, and you're going to have a lot of options. So everybody isn't going to come to my talks. So listen, what if, and I do this with my radio show, what if I'm assigned to speak for a half hour and no one shows up? I mean, that could happen, right? And I'm not going to take it personally, but that could happen. Do I have an attachment to, if I don't have 10 people in my classroom, I don't even know if it's a classroom, workshop, if I don't have 10 people, if I don't have 20 people, if I don't have 30 people, and whatever number, I don't even have an idea how many people are going to be showing up. What if no one shows up? Then what? That's what I'm talking about, having attachments. When I have an attachment, when we have attachments, what we're doing, not only are we subtracting from happiness, but what we're also doing is we're not living in the moment. What I've discovered in my classroom is my university. What I've discovered is if I'm not in the moment, if I'm not living in this moment, then I am subtracting from my happiness. Unless, there is an exception, unless I am remembering or I'm pondering or I'm reminiscing about a wonderful time that I just experienced, a wonderful moment that I just experienced, a moment that I've savored, or a moment that I'm just, sitting back and feeling good about. That's the only exception, I think. There might be another one. If you come up with one, let me know. But so far, that's the only moment that I can say, other than the present moment, that is going to keep me in this state of connectedness, of self-awareness, of consciousness. If I have attachments, I am automatically in the future moment. And guess what? The future moment doesn't even exist. The future moment is now. I just thought of something. I have an attachment of, okay, here we go. This is an attachment that's going to be stamp approved. I have an attachment to whatever happens in the future, I'm going to be okay with. And whatever doesn't happen in the future, I'm going to be okay with. Whatever happens in the future moments, I'm good. How's that for an attachment? We are going to take a quick 30-second break. 30 seconds, I promise, and we are going to come back with more reality spirituality. If you want to ask a question, oops, where am I? Uh-oh. What happened? Oh, no. I don't even know if they can hear me. Okay. I can't believe that. Okay, let's see. Where is my audience? Audience. I am going to assume, which I'm not going to assume, we're going to reconnect in just a minute. You're listening to Reality Spirituality. Wow, that was strange. You know, I said we're going to take a quick break, and I didn't even push the button to listen to my song, and I just got knocked out of the queue. But here we are again. Oh, jeez. Wow, that's so interesting. See, look at that. Not even attached to that. We're going to take a quick 10-second break because there's one thing that I have to pick up, and we're going to come right back. Stay tuned. 10 seconds. Reality Spirituality.
Yeah, oh, it's time to get real. Oh, yeah. Spirituality. It's a new experience. Reality Spirituality.
Okay, now this is an interesting show. What the hell is going on? What I wanted to continue with is with this being attached to outcomes, and not only outcomes, but being attached to people. That is really, really important also. Attachments to a person, oh my goodness, will subtract from your happiness. Let me share a personal story, because circumstances, okay, yeah, something happens, fine, doesn't happen, fine, but let's get down to the nitty-gritty when we attach to people and attach to a person's response or a person's non-response or even what a person does. This happened just this week. I have someone in my life. I call him my best mate, soulmate. You know what? Words can't even describe our relationship. It's been over 15 years, and we are put on. Listen, when we first met, we didn't even know why we were together. We had no clue, but the universe has brought it to our attention that we are here to support each other's growth. That's it. We're here to support each other's growth. And he is married, and he has a daughter, and I am the godmother of the daughter. And they're my family. They're my family. But this particular man in my life, like I said, supporting my growth. That's what we do. Not only support. Excuse me, I'm just taking a little bit of water. Not only support, but he's got these gifts. He's got these gifts that, and when I first met him, I didn't even understand. It's really intuitive. He can meet someone, and it's not about being a psychic. It's not about being a medium, but he can meet somebody, and he can feel who you are. Actually, I'm going to have him on the show really soon. He can feel who you are. In other words, when we first met, it was interesting because when we first met, it's over 15 years, maybe 16 years ago. And there's a couple stories in my book that he contributed to. One about his, and I'm digressing. When we met about 16 years ago, he looked in my eyes and he said, "All I see is drama." And I'm looking at him. I mean, I don't know this guy. All you see is drama. What kind of statement is that? And this is before I had a clue about energy. I didn't even know what energy was. Yeah, 16 years ago, I had no clue. But I knew that he was telling me the truth, because I argued a lot. I was moody. I was up and down. I was in my eyes normal. Isn't that what everybody did? Isn't that how everybody lived? Peace. How could you live in a peaceful peace? Well, I was uncomfortable with peace. That's the truth. And so when I say he's got these gifts, he doesn't even have to talk to you. He can feel. He can feel your energy, and he can like break you down and basically tell you who and what you are, or how you not who and what you are, but how you express yourself in this physical plane. What was my point? Oh, this is my point. So we all go through our little times. I told you before, I do this thing called hibernating, where I kind of shut myself off from people, and I don't do a lot of talking, and I don't do a lot of phone calls. In fact, I rarely talk on the phone. I do a lot of texting, but this is it. Me talking this much, this is on my radio show, that's what I do. But in real life, I don't do this much talking unless I'm giving a speech. So I hadn't seen him, and we have stopped, even though we're close. We're so close. Our souls are so intertwined. And, of course, we've had readings, and we've been together before in different lifetimes, blah, 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 blah. So we're very, very close. And we used to talk on the phone every single day. This was years and years and years ago. And then maybe 3 years ago it stopped. And we talk on the phone maybe once a week. And now it's probably maybe once every 3 weeks. You know, I talk, he talks, and it's just how our relationship is evolving. But are we as close as ever? We are even closer. I can communicate him without using words, if that makes sense. It's just really, it's hard to explain, but that's the kind of relationship that we have. And and we used to see each other maybe once every couple of weeks, have lunch. I haven't seen my soulmate probably 3 months, 4 months. When was around the beginning of February? And you know what? It hasn't been 3 months, maybe a month and a half. Lose track of time. And so he called and said, you want to have lunch? This was this week. You want to have lunch on Thursday? And it was coincidentally, of course there are no coincidences, I was off. I didn't go to work that day. I said, yeah. I said, I'm available. We could catch up, have lunch, talk universal stuff. We only talk universal stuff. Sometimes we talk about sports too. And, where are you with your evolution? Where are you with your growth? Where are you with, where are you? And we share those kind of stories. So we met, went out to lunch. Our lunch was maybe 45 minutes. We had lunch. We chatted. We, got into a few things. He told me what his challenges are. I told him what mine are. And then, this is my point. And then I was going to be interviewed that afternoon, and I said, well, you want to hang out for my interview? It's coming at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And the day before, he says, yeah, I'll hang with you. And the day of, after we had lunch, which lasted about 45 minutes, 50 minutes, we chatted a little bit, maybe a little bit longer than that. He said, well, see you later. I'm going back because we live on two different sides of the town. I'm going back, to my side of town. And there was not even a speck of disappointment, a speck of expectation. I hadn't seen him in a month and a half. We spent less than an hour together. We chatted. I mean, did I have more things to talk about? Hell yes. Did I have more things did I want to hear more information? Did I want to hear more stories from him? Hell yes. But that's not what happened. what happened was when he said, I'm going back home, I'm going back to my side of the town, I said, okay, bye. It was great seeing you. It was great talking to you. Hug, kiss. Can you imagine relationships like that, all relationships like that, where there are no strings attached, where there are no expectations, where I can say, you know what, I like talking to you for 10 minutes, and then I'm done talking, I got to go, and there's no obligations. Can you imagine? That's the kind of relationship that we have. And honestly, I have to say that I'm able to give that to others. I'm definitely able to. Whatever you want to do is okay with me, but it's not reciprocated some of the times, most of the times. And it comes down to having this notion, having this conditioned expectation of how relationships are supposed to, I'm using my air quotes here, supposed to be structured. All relationships, in my opinion, are structured the way that you, my dear audience, you want them to be structured. I am really, really pressing this point because for years of my life, I fell into this. Well, I know they don't like this, so I'm not going to do it. I know they don't like me to say this, so I won't say it. Now, I'm not talking about disrespecting. I'm not talking about, and of course, and I'm not being specific because I have so many relationships, and each relationship is specific. But in general, what I'm saying is, you, my dear audience, you do you. For an example, I have a person in my life, and we used to date maybe, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, 1996. What is that? 1996. Whatever, you do the math. And now we're talking on the phone, but you know what? I don't talk on the phone. I don't do talking. Well, let me say this. Nope. Let me scratch that. It's not that I don't talk on the phone. I don't like talking on the phone to him. I just don't. I don't. It's just I rather text. And so what has happened is I've given that message. Text me, and of course he'll call. Now, I don't know what's going to happen with the relationship. I don't know if we're going to continue staying in touch. But I like to text. And I am only, I don't want to say only, there might be a time where I pick up the phone and answer it. But how I'm feeling now, how I'm feeling today, I'm only going to text you back, honey. I'm only going to text. And if you can't accept that, that's okay too. Because for me, too many times in my life, I did what the other person wanted me to do. In other words, trying to please someone else. And them days are over. Those days are over. Whew. Now, I have a few people in the queue, and if anyone wants to talk to me live, because I'm going to wrap up the show in a minute, if you want to talk to me live, just hit the one button and unmute you, and I can unmute you. But if not, I am going to wrap up this show. Now, I brought up a lot of different topics with relationships and attachments. I want to leave you with this. I believe and I know that I am responsible for all of the harmony in every relationship that I am in. Does that mean that I have to compromise who I am? Does that mean I still cannot do, want, and say, cannot be myself? No, that doesn't mean that. What it means is that I can be true to myself and not have to be true to myself without compromising who I am. Oh, someone wants to say something. Oh, good. I love my listeners. Hold on a second. You are live with Reality Spirituality. Who am I speaking with?
Hi, it's Diane. Good morning.
Diane. Good morning, Diane, my dear Diane. Hi.
I didn't want you to hang up, and I really wanted to share a common scenario with my ex-husband, who I knew at 12 years old, and we have 3 fabulous children. And I chose to divorce him after, over 15 years. But wait a minute, that was in 97. And to this day, I have the same kind of relationship, but not spiritual, more just as friends. Because, I talk spiritual to him, whether he believes it or not. He listens. When we were married, he wouldn't. And yet now, I was with him yesterday afternoon because he uses me as his realtor. He refers me to his sister-in-law because he's remarried. Mm-hmm. And you're right, we have such a great relationship. He's such a solid guy. And it's always, that compassion and that love stays. It doesn't leave you. It just doesn't, for me anyway. And then, wait a minute, I have another parallel. I was in a relationship for almost 7 years. Mm-hmm. And again, he's 55 at 20 was 40. So, and we were together 7 years. So, I'm like 10, 15 years ago. Mm-hmm. So what happened is occasionally he would call. We would say hi. He'd want to have lunch. And I would see him, and I'm saying, oh, God, thank God I broke, we lived together for years.
Yes.
But recently he called me because he really needed me. A business, he was in trouble in real estate, and he turned to me for advice and help. And it's funny because since then I've been there for him because I could feel he just needed someone, not anything more than a buddy and a friend and someone who I really cared. And it was like really good timing because, like you said, it always reflects back to us. Whatever it is that I'm seeing in the outside world is something that I have to deal with within my own self. And I love that. And you're such a great teacher. So there are my 2 parallel stories, Missy. Love it.
Oh, you know what, Diane? You know what? This is girl, we be connected, honey. We just be connected. Yeah, and it's interesting. So, okay, you feel a compassion for this guy, don't you?
The last guy.
Yeah, the last guy.
Oh, poor thing. Yeah, and I try to change his thinking, and yet he goes back to not believing it. But yeah, he's very spiritual. He's had 3 near-death experiences, and he told me what went on. That's why I really believe there's life after death. When you hear it firsthand and you know facts, it's just so much more believable. Not that I don't believe physics.
Right. No, of course, life after death and life before life. Come on, this isn't my first journey here. I mean, energy doesn't die. Energy can't be destroyed and can't be created or destroyed. So no, we're just moving in and out, just changing forms. That's all. But I want to say something to you. You said something that was really, really interesting, and this is what I always used to do. You just said it. You ready? Hello? Okay, good.
Hello, I'm ready. I'm all ears.
You said, and I'm only saying it because I love you so much, and because you and me, we got this.
No, I need to hear it. That's how you grow.
Yes. I used to preach and preach to people that I knew could get it, that I knew were just on the edge, that I knew if they only heard this one thing, if they only realized like attracts like, or if they only realized whatever concept you want to teach them. I mean, I have people that are just on the edge. I actually call them flip-floppers, meaning that they can be really spiritual, and then they can revert back to, like you just said. You said, I tell him this, but then he goes back to acting this other way. So I call those kind of people flip-floppers, and I say it with a lot of, I think it's a fun name. Mm-hmm. I stopped teaching everyone. I just stopped it because my words, I mean, unless I'm on the radio, my words in my real life haven't changed one person. And looking back in all my history, my words never changed one person. What about you?
Interesting. Well, I've changed from listening and being open on Blog Talk. Your show has enhanced me. So I, as an individual, that's, I grasp it and I absorb it from easier audio for me. So I'm just reflecting. Maybe someone else will change. When I say change, I just try to say come from a place of love. Mm-hmm. Don't, like when I was with my my former husband yesterday, I don't like to use the word ex because you don't ex people out of your life. Mm-hmm, And he's selling a very expensive home, and he's partners with his two sisters. And he kept saying, they've never gotten along. He kept saying, they're not listening. They don't want to do this. They don't want to do that. So I just put in my own money. I'm doing it. What do you think? I said, I think that they're so lucky that you're their brother, and you're making them so much more successful. And I said, so they're not as smart as you. It's all good. You have enough to handle anybody. So I kind of gave him, anytime someone says something negative, I try to turn it around.
Ooh, how perfect. What a perfect thing to say. That was perfect.
So that's how I teach. That's where I come from, the heart. When I communicate to anyone, or I don't communicate like you, I'll shut up and I'll leave, and I'll be alone. I will leave the environment when I feel the energy.
Oh, you know what? Let me scratch what I said earlier, because the way that you're teaching and the way that you're talking was totally different than the way I did. I had a hammer in my hand, and I kept banging him over the head. Don't you get it? Don't you get it? But the way that you're doing it is perfect. Good. I felt that. I felt that in my soul when you said it.
Good. Yeah, because I come from the heart. That's it. I feel it. I don't think it. I feel it. Anything in life you feel, you create. You're the, hello, I'm talking to you. You do
it. Ooh, yeah. You said, what you said, I feel it, I don't think it. I like that. I mean, I know that, but I like the way that you've expressed it. Sometimes you hear different ways of expressing the same thing, and I like that you feel it, you don't think it.
It's true, though, right? It's
yes, of course. Okay, and so how do you? Okay. So help me with this one. Okay, help me with this one, sister. So this, or I want your perspective. This second guy that I told you, back and forth, and our relationship was just back and forth. It was just like a big conflict because I was always right and he was always right, and we were. I don't know if you remember the book. Dr. Seuss and the Sneetches, the Sneetches. No, you don't remember.
I've read it, but I can't remember.
Yeah, where they both stood. Actually, it wasn't the Sneetches. It's called the Zacks. They both stood right in front of each other, and neither one of them would pass to the left, and neither one would pass to the right, and they just stood there. So that was our relationship. We were just like standing there, just stuck, and we were two always, I'm always right, you're always right. And so it's kind of a little bit of that. And in other words, I don't want to talk to you on the phone. I rather just text on the phone. But I don't know how to deliver that message with from the heart with love. Help me with that.
Well, you see, that's the issue. It doesn't work for me. It doesn't, because you take it out of context when you're not feeling it. Yet people write books, and that comes from the heart, and you're reading it. So you can do it. You could focus on it and feel it, and then type it. Just feel the words first. It's just as easy.
Ooh, wee. I mean, I am standing up right now. I'm standing up, all ears. My antennas have just pointed out of my head. You have really changed the way I'm going to be. Yeah.
Oh, good. I'm so happy.
Really. Thank you for that. I mean, feel it, don't think it. Ooh, listen. I know that. But I didn't.
You were reminded. I'm just reminding you. You chose to additionally turn on your first thing, because I'm in Calabasas. Turn on your radio for teaching us to share, and what comes back unconditionally tenfold. You get it back. That's life. Unconditional comes back tenfold. It's easy. It's so easy. And as you said, living in the moment is so important. You teach such good stuff. You remind me all the time, so thank you. It's just we're all the same. I'm walking now around the lake in Calabasas. It's a man-made lake.
I can feel you moving. Oh,
good. That's why I don't like to talk, because I don't want to lose my beat, but I stopped jogging. I'm just walking fast. So
no, jog
right?
and talk. Jog and talk. Please, jog and talk.
I'm speeding the walk. It's good. I chose to do this. So what I was going to share was living in the moment, looking at a tree, looking at what's around you when you're outside. You know what? Like I look at a leaf, and a leaf is connected, even though it blows itself because it's on a different part of a branch. The branch is still connected to the root. What you say, we should be barefoot every day. Go in the backyard. Feel the earth. Put your feet in the dirt. Even for a minute, just feel the dirt and be a part like the root, because we're so connected like the tree to the ground. You know that.
Yes, I do know that. And every morning I go outside with no shoes on. And I stand out in the middle of the street before the sun comes up. And sometimes cars come by, and then I just move out of the way, and I go back to the middle of the street, arms up, feet on the ground, bare feet. Yes, and I have to wipe my feet off before I come back in the house. But yeah, wow.
Yeah, the soil's good too. Feel soil versus concrete.
I love soil, and I love the grass.
Exactly.
I love grass. Ooh, Diane, so what are you doing today?
I have, I'm cooking. I have a cooker, a slow cooker, and we're having a party for my son tomorrow, who's 31. Isn't that nice? Yes. Okay, so remind me of your ages of your children. I don't think I ever asked. 31. 29, and then my oldest is 34.
34.
34, 31, and 29.
And are they the most fortunate kids to have you as a mom?
Well, thank you, but I am the most fortunate to have them as children. I scored. I just, and the irony, my sister has 3 girls a year apart, and we grew up literally on the same block, a few houses apart, for many years until I got divorced. And it was really wild because my mother, when we would each travel, because we both had a very successful life, that she would stay at my sister's house, of course with other help, and she said, girls are so much trouble, boys are so easy. and loving them all the same, but I was happy with the boys myself. It worked. Oh. You love it. You get it.
Yeah. Yes, boys. Come on, are you kidding me? Boys. In fact, my son is flying from New York to go to the to be at my expo on in April. He's flying all the way from New York to San Francisco. This is going to be my first big talk, my first big seminar, my first big workshop, and so he's going to be there. Ooh, and it's.
I said that's so perfect. So you have one person in the audience. Everything's a done deal after that.
Oh, wait. No, Diane. No, listen. Honestly, I don't know that, because one of the things I tell my son is, if you come, I mean, I bought his plane ticket. I said, if you come and you don't even decide to come to my speeches or you don't even want to go to the workshop, it's okay.
Oh, that's wonderful. No attachment.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's unconditional love. Wow, are you there? You practice what you preach.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I have to, especially with that one because he's such a free spirit. So there's no strings attached, whatever. Yeah, I brought him the ticket, but that does not mean he has to come to the event at all, or he has to see me or anything. I know that that we will, but I don't know if he's coming to my workshop. I don't know what he's going to do, and I'm okay with all of it. Yeah, I have to practice that one because it's really, really important for our relationship. He's such a free spirit, and I want him to be free. I want him. You know what I want him? I want him to feel that unconditional, and I want him to be able to create that in his own life with people that are not me.
Oh, wouldn't that be the best? But he has to learn it, and that's what, he has to walk the path himself and discover it. We
that's
so
right.
want to give it all to them, but just as we were younger, when we were told until we experienced it, it doesn't make it the same.
That's right. Well, we're coming to the end of the show. I love you so much for listening. I really, you don't know, and I just,
good.
You do know. You do know. Come on, you can feel it. You know.
I think it's the best. That's why I called, because I was afraid you were going to hang up, and I wanted more. I wanted to get more.
Well, now I know how to get you to push the button.
That's great.
Okay, Diane, have a wonderful day. Thank you for listening, and I want to thank my Reality Spirituality audience. You guys are the best. Reality Spirituality I cannot have this show without all of you. So I want to remind you that you can go to my website, and if you're going to be in the San Francisco area, or if you want to travel to the San Francisco area and hear me speak, go attend my workshop. You can go to my website at www.RebeccaNorrington.com. That's R-E. Go to my website. You can sign up right on the home page. It says Live an Extraordinary Life Conference right there. And for all of my Reality Spirituality listeners, I want to thank you, and I want to remind you who the hell you are. You are a physical extension of the universe. You're always growing. You're always evolving. Be patient. Be kind to yourself. Be your own best friend. Remember, you cannot have a happy ending to an unhappy journey. I will connect with you again tomorrow with Reality Spirituality. Thank you for listening. Talk to you again tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh, it's time to get real. Oh, yeah. It's a new experience. Spirituality. Yeah, keep your ears open for this one.